Hi there, welcome to Sky Sports News. Big breaking news to bring you, so let's head straight to Liverpool's training ground and speak to our reporter Vinny O'Connor. Vinny, good afternoon to you. What can you tell us straight away then, please?
Yes, Vicky, we just had confirmation from the EFL that League Cup semi-final first leg between Arsenal and Liverpool has indeed been postponed at the request of Liverpool Football Club. In that statement, the EFL say that it's due to a severe outbreak of COVID infections amongst Liverpool's management and playing staff. Severe, of course, referring to the sheer number of cases that they have here. It says the EFL has been in regular dialogue with the club over the past 48 hours in an attempt to understand whether the tie could proceed, but significant developments over this period have resulted in the club reporting an ever-increasing number of COVID cases. Having now fully reviewed the circumstances involved, the league has accepted Liverpool's request after determining, albeit reluctantly, that a postponement was the only option, as the club looks to mitigate against the further risk of infection amongst its squad and staff, alongside ensuring public health was protected by not travelling from Liverpool to London. As a result of the postponement, the order of the ties has now changed, with the first of the two legs to take place at Anfield now on the 13th of January 2022 at 7:45. The rearranged game, now the second leg, is scheduled to be played at the Emirates on 20th of January. But confirmation that first leg of the semi-final tie in the League Cup between Arsenal and Liverpool, scheduled for tomorrow, is now in fact postponed.
Yeah, so look, as you say, everything has to get rejiggled, doesn't it? So what's the knock-on effect then? They've got an FA Cup tie against Shrewsbury on Sunday.
Yeah, well, looking at it, on the face of it, there's no risk of Liverpool having to forfeit this tie. Effectively, they've got, of course, until the final on the 27th of February to get these two legs played. Remember, though, that a precedent had kind of been set back in September 2020 when Leyton Orient were forced to forfeit that third-round tie against Spurs due to 18 of their first-team players contracting COVID. An order from the local health authority also meant Orient were unable to play their third-round fixture before the fourth-round game, which was scheduled for a week later. Now, Rule 5.1 of the League Cup does state that a club has to forfeit a match if they can't play it before the next round is scheduled. However, as I say, Liverpool will avoid that effectively because the final isn't until February the 27th, so we've got plenty of time, and we've seen that schedule that the EFL have put down for Liverpool and Arsenal to play those two legs. The knock-on effect is, of course, what other games could subsequently be postponed and the knock-on effect to Liverpool's schedule from there. Obviously, we're looking ahead to that third round FA Cup tie against Shrewsbury at the weekend, and we're just seeing how long it will be before Liverpool are indeed operational again and have the numbers to be operational once again, and how that impacts their schedule moving forward. But as it stands, they should be able to play those two legs against Arsenal and therefore not have to forfeit that semi-final.
Yeah, and that's the most important thing, I guess, is not forfeiting the semi-final. But as you said, Vinny, it's so cluttered, isn't it? They've got Brentford, they've got Crystal Palace, that's Sunday the 16th, Sunday the 23rd, it all goes on. It's a very, very busy schedule, and this isn't going to help, is it?
And that's the point that Jurgen Klopp has been making for a number of weeks now as well. He goes back to 5 substitutions, the congested fixture schedule. Pep Lijnders as well said it in one of his more recent news conferences, talking about the fact that players need 72 hours to recover after a Premier League game. And the fact is that the schedule at the moment, on top of the impact of the COVID pandemic, is not allowing the players that necessary recovery time. And when they have a COVID outbreak within the squad, that increases the pressure on the number of players that they have as well and the recovery time as such. So it's a difficult situation for Liverpool. Obviously, the training ground is now shut. Liverpool made that clear a little earlier on today as well, that they have in fact closed it for at least 48 hours now as they try to get a grip of this COVID outbreak. Once things have settled down and they start getting their numbers back, then hopefully they will get back to playing games once again and be able to fulfil the fixtures that they have to.
Yeah, and of course they've already got players missing for the Africa Cup of Nations. Look, just away from tomorrow's game then, it is of course the January transfer window, and I guess they'd be wanting to get players in with all the ramifications that are going on, but I believe you've got news of a potential departure.
Yeah, it's one that's probably not surprising as well. And you're right when you look at the squad as a whole, and obviously, 3 big players away at the Africa Cup of Nations as well, in Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, Naby Keita, of course, as well. But when it comes to this situation, we're looking at the future of Nico Williams, and obviously a lot of consideration has to be given to Nico and the playing time or lack of playing time that he's had so far this season, and obviously his international ambitions as well, with Wales hoping to qualify for a World Cup. Now, as in the summer, Nico himself is very conscious of his place in the Wales national setup, and therefore he would like options to be considered this month for a potential move away for regular first team football. He's made just 6 Liverpool appearances so far this season, only one of them in the Premier League as well, and that was an 83rd minute substitute appearance in that 5-0 win at Watford back in October. Now, Jurgen Klopp and Pep Lijnders have both been impressed with the progress of Conor Bradley and Owen Beck, not surprisingly, with James Milner as well, and Joe Gomez also able to cover both fullback positions. It makes sense to give some consideration to allowing Nico Williams to leave this window, but if and only if the right offer comes along. Nico himself can cover a variety of positions on both flanks and various systems as well, so he's very likely to attract interest in this window. However, it's safe to say that Liverpool won't be rushed into this, and it's something they will consider probably at the back end of the transfer window as well. As we mentioned, players already away on African Cup of Nations duty, and the impact of the COVID pandemic on the squad latterly as well. They are sympathetic to Nico Williams' international ambitions, but as I say, it makes sense to assess nearer the transfer deadline, and it's certainly too early to say whether or not any potential move would be a loan deal or a potential permanent move away.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense, as you do always. Thank you very much, Vinny.